and you are welcome. It is a Monday, and what can we tell you but that we're excited. This very first Monday for the month of August. It's almost the 2nd, isn't it?
It is, and August is my month.
Oh, that is true.
I'm counting down to my birthday.
Well,
I'm just announcing, telling the world now. I'm in a very good mood.
It's a good thing getting older is looking good on you.
Yes, it is. Thank you. It is looking good on me. But a big shout out to everyone who stuck with us throughout all the past months. And we're here. It's the 8th month, Mazino. Imagine that.
Month number 8. You got to ask yourself where all that time went. But I'm sure that you've used the past 8 months for something very, very useful. We know how the world is currently, but that you are trudging along. Well, hey, we're trudging along with you, and we are happy that we are the faces that you choose to let welcome you into the new week.
Yes, indeed. Now, there's always so much in store for you on every episode of Wake Up Nigeria. Just make sure you don't leave us. You need to stay right there, and even if you have to move around, you can always download our app. That's for iOS or Android. You can have our app at TVC Connect, or in fact, tune to us via Facebook at TVC Connect as well.
Make sure you're following us on all our social media handles at TVC Connect, by the way. And of course, we're going to be reading your comments as much as you post them, so please do post them. We're definitely going to be visiting them and making sure that we highlight the fact that you are also a part of this show.
So if you didn't know, we always have a chef every morning, and some people have been trying their best at home to do what we do on the show, make some of the meals that we show you. Just use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC, and let's see if we can post them.
Mike will be joining us, by the way. I'd like to say he has a very nice spit and shine polish today. You'll find out exactly how come. Do stay tuned. Let's let you know what's coming up, shall we?
We have our motivation segment. Gloria Ajoge Adaba is going to be right here with us. Now, she is an engineer. She's also an environmentalist, and it should be a very, very interesting conversation this morning. I guess we have SME coming your way, and there's so much you can learn from this one. Homie Osalo is going to be here with us. It's all about real estate this time on SME segment this morning. Yeah, we'll be getting to find out exactly what it's like to get started in that kind of business. Wouldn't it just be nice to have like a getaway spot? You know, I know guys call it like a man cave, right? But I guess, I don't know what ladies call it.
Those interiors are not cheap, man.
No, they're not.
When you just see them, you know, I over the weekend I had there's an acquaintance I know who was working on interiors, and when I heard how much he had to get set to put that together, I was like, oh man.
Well, you got to ask yourself this question. Why are diamonds expensive? They're only expensive because of the measure of affluence that we put to it. There's really nothing to a diamond.
Yeah, really,
It's the same thing with acquiring these things. You know, it's just, we make it expensive.
I agree with you. I think it's really about scarcity.
Yeah,
perhaps exactly.
Scarcity. It is rarity, as the case may be. You understand? It's hard. I mean, we see people. I saw this documentary about crystal hunters who hunts for crystals, and then you know they are easier. They are the ones. The rarer they are, the more expensive they are. That's just about it. It's just that it's rare. It's not like there might not be so much to it.
Speaking of rare, there's some apartments and flats and things like that on the island in Lekki Island. They're so rare now, you can't even find them. The place is so high density now. There's traffic everywhere. And so I had the opportunity to visit someone in Lekki after like the 3rd toll gate. Well, it's not third junction rather. And the space was so small to me. I asked,
but still so expensive.
How much to purchase this? 45 million naira.
Yeah, wow.
Why? I was 45 million naira to purchase
Was it a self-contained or
no, it was
mini
a
flat?
two-bedroom.
A two-bedroom?
Two-bedroom. But the living space is so cramped.
So cramped.
Kitchen cramped. And they were like, this is like a good price for this area.
Let's not forget that it gets flooded when it rains.
Exactly.
Just saying.
That's it. That one,
And there's mold in the cupboards.
Ooh.
You know, there's damp in the walls.
Ooh, your friend's not going to be inviting you anytime soon.
Yeah, well.
Like, so you do that and you have to remote deal. There's a lot of work you have to do. After spending 45 hours, no, man. I'm not doing that. Just chill where you are, get a good ride, and you can move to wherever you want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned, the water, and then even the borehole, you have to ensure there is a purifier or whatever. You have to treat it, and that also even puts you at risk because when the water is treated, it's not so pure for consumption.
Honestly, it's just, to each his own, because some people believe live closer to where you work, you know. So
Then there is that.
Yeah, true.
For sanity. In any case, we're sure that your weekend was very, very fantastic, but we're here to make the weekday even better. And you're welcome for a Monday morning. Let's do the news. My name is Mazino Appeal. We begin in Plateau State, where gunmen suspected to be herders, militiamen, have attacked and killed 7 locals in Pachudu community. That's in Bassa local government area of the state. That's according to eyewitnesses, but police say 4 persons were killed. The Saturday night invasion also left over 50 houses belonging to the locals burnt. In a statement released by the police command, there was a clash between herders and Irigwe youths in the community. Thereafter, a team of policemen were deployed and normalcy has been restored to the area. This attack comes a few weeks after a peace pact between the natives and herders in the state to sheathe their swords and give peace a chance. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has reacted to the new charges filed by the Kaduna State government against the leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, and his wife, Zinat. Mr. Falana says the charges were hurriedly filed to prevent the couple's release from custody. El-Zakzaky and his wife, Zinat, were arraigned on an 8-count charge bordering on culpable homicide, unlawful assembly, and disruption of public peace. Days after the court ordered the release of the couple, Kaduna Director of Public Prosecution, Dari Bayero, said the fresh counts filed by the state border on terrorism and treasonable felony against the state and the federal government. In the statement, Mr. Falana said, quote, the new charges was maliciously filed when the Kaduna State government anticipated that the ruling fixed for July 28th in respect our no-case submission would succeed, end of quote. Now, the defendants had pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against them. They had been in custody since 2015 when members of the IMN, better known as Shiites, clashed with soldiers in Zaria, Kaduna State. And operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have recovered 35 wraps of cocaine from the underwear of a lady, Okafo Ebene Edith, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, MMI, Ikeja, Lagos. Now, this was during the outward clearance of passengers on Air Côte d'Ivoire to Liberia. According to a statement by the NDLEA, the suspect, who tucked the pallets of cocaine in her underwear to beat security checks at the airport, was picked up for search and questioning, during which the wraps of the illicit drug were found on her. Now, another suspect, an intending male passenger going to Istanbul, was also arrested at the airport last Tuesday with 78 grams of cannabis mixed with dried bitter leaf. Now, also, the NDLEA operatives raided a warehouse in Kontagora local government area of Niger State, where drug supply totaling 125 bags of cannabis were uncovered. And outside Nigeria now, Iran's health minister has called for 2 weeks of lockdowns enforced by armed forces and law enforcement to curb the alarmingly fast rise of COVID-19 cases across the country. Saeed Namakimade, the request in a letter, said this to the Supreme Leader Al-Khamenei on Sunday. According to the minister, the 5th wave of coronavirus infections, this time dominated by the variant Delta, could become even more catastrophic and irreversible if nothing is done, because even the country does not run out of hospital beds, or rather hoping that the country does not run out of hospital beds. It will run out of workers, he says. He added that though vaccinated, health workers are falling ill due to long bouts of sleeplessness and stress. More than 3.9 million cases of COVID-19 have been registered in Iran since February 2020, and more than 91,000 people have lost their lives. Today alone, 366 more Iranians have died from COVID-19 infections. And that's it for the news.
Welcome back. Now it's about time for us to take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the newspapers this morning. We're starting with The Nation this Monday, 2nd of August, 2021. Major headline on the cover of The Nation here, it says APC PDP sink deeper into crisis ahead of 2023 elections. Governors to decide Secondo's fate next week. Keyamo Ogala insist on Buni's exit. Still on the cover of The Nation newspaper, it says right beneath the masthead there, it says COVID-19, Lagos records 6 deaths and 519 cases in 2 days. 4 million doses of Moderna vaccine to arrive soon. Anambra 2021, ex-PDP aspirant Obiora Okonkwo takes ZLP ticket. Page 5 has more on that. On the hush puppy matter, police begin Kiari probe. DCP on suspension. Zenith Bank GMD seeks more investments for Africa, and Forex pressure to force Naira's further fall. And more on page 17 on that one. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation. We're going to move swiftly to the Daily Sun at this point. It says here, 2023 presidency, Atiku begins consultations as David Mark's group moves to check Rivers governor's influence. Right beneath the masthead there, it says again, Zenith Bank GMD Onyagu advocates increased impact investment for Africa. Meanwhile, PDP, APC bicker over attacks, killings in Ebonyi. It also says here, it says anxiety as doctors begin nationwide strike. 31 face disciplinary panel over professional misconduct. Shell names first female MD in 60 years of Nigerian operations. We're monitoring regression in Nigeria, say the Commonwealth. And let me wrap with this one. It says Supreme Court ruling, APC snubs Keyamo. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Sun. Now, we also have the Punch newspaper with us here. It says parallel congresses. APC threatens to expel, suspend Osun, Kwara, Delta, others, errant members. And there are quite a few other stories there, but we have to wrap it up at this point on the covers of the dailies as we have a quick break right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome back. It's about time for us to figure out what's up and about now. But first of all, welcome back, Mazino.
Oh, yes. I have been in quarantine. Let me let that. No, honestly, I have been in quarantine.
Yeah, it's supposed to do that. It's not
I've had
when
to
you travel,
be away
yes.
for 7 days.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
true.
But thank you very much for welcoming me back.
We missed you here.
Thank you very much.
We did.
It was quite fantastic being away. But I missed you guys.
Aww.
You were supposed to
Air hugs.
tune in at one point.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, but that would have been cool
unfortunately,
to see the sights, sounds, and what else?
I've got a couple which I could share with the team after.
All right,
even here
definitely.
But
So Olympics has been won. Many things happening. There's been so much about the Olympics.
there's one thing about the Olympics I heard while I was away, which is the disqualification of the athletes.
So on Friday, we
Yeah.
had me and we trashed that. We really trashed it. Because everybody's angry and we are. I don't want to say tired. I'm not shocked. I don't know.
Yeah.
It has come to a point where almost nothing shocks us.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
It's what Nigeria has turned to be. I mean, you have why would our sports minister be in Tokyo?
Interesting
A sports
question.
minister.
Interesting question.
How many other ministers of sports of other countries were in Tokyo?
I was also curiously going to ask what the effect on the other athletes has been.
Yeah.
They had
But
to
so
protest
far,
in Tokyo.
so far, if we've got one man and one woman in the running for medals, I think that we're not doing too badly. At least I know,
no, don't even say that.
But
Don't try
considering
yourself
everything
up.
that is happening, Mike,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I didn't terribly. Like half of the team was disqualified.
Wow.
Half. It's not like we went for so much. We competed in only 9 sports. Half already disqualified. The last time Nigeria picked a medal was what now? About when? Almost 20. I mean, come on now. It's terrible. It's bad. And then we got to the 100-meter final. In one of the heats, Divine, I never expected it. He was disqualified for a false start.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You understand? And then, what's his name now? Africa, can't call now. He got into the finals and then he pulled a hamstring.
Oh. It's
So
been
we
a
are-
really sad.
So he got in the final and
sad,
pulled
Quite
a
difficult
hamstring.
for
yeah, sad one.
And
for
then
us.
the
I
big
think
one
it's-
was okay. So you know Novak had criticized Simon Biles for pulling out because of her mental health, and then he lost the semi-final,
Oh, wow.
And then why?
and then lost the third place
And then
battle.
what's the excuse?
So he didn't. Okay, so there was a meltdown. There was a meltdown on court. He was throwing rackets around.
Mental issues.
There was a meltdown. And
What's
so
his
he went-
mental?
Is it
That's my point now.
It's a tantrum.
No, is this a new thing? If you
That's a
cannot
tantrum.
perform.
No, he didn't mention mental.
No, I would like to ask, however, is this
Yeah.
the new thing where if you can't perform, then the go-to line it was perhaps maybe mental issues?
issues. So
We're going to need a new Olympics for
I know a few people probably came for me last week. I tried not to read them, but I feel like a lot of us, a lot of athletes are being coddled at this point because really they are supposed to be the template. They are supposed to be the goal. They're
Resilience,
the top. They have to push through it.
On this one, on quite a lot of lines, I agree with you because, like you said, the Olympic is sporting pinnacle for almost everybody. There's a World Cup of football. There's a World Cup for different sports, but the Olympic is supposed to be where everybody comes together with different sports.
The best.
And pressure, mental pressure, is a strong part of competition.
Yes.
Exactly, I was going to say. I mean, that is the point. That's what makes you different from everybody else who's out there, because you're pushing through all of these different kinds of pressures, and you're showing that I can exceed and I am superhuman. There's nothing superhuman about someone who's like, oh,
and then
I'm sorry to say, that is a fact.
And then you throw tantrums, throwing things about. I'm like,
and that was what he was saying. I said, look, she can't. Someone can drop by. Okay, hey, you missed it, and somebody else won. But you're not a hero. For flunking.
Yeah, you're not a hero if you don't have a villain.
You understand?
But people are actually, you know, saying that they are, you know, that they should be proud that they could admit it.
Oh,
that's what the angle has been online.
Sorry.
Yeah,
and
but
you know the interesting thing.
Sad.
For Simone Biles, the lady who now won is an American, and she has a very interesting story. Her dad was paralyzed from when she was small. She lost 2 family members due to COVID. Like a very interesting story. She never thought. I mean, the captain of their team. She pushed through. The captain of their team, you know, is always the benchmark. She's better than almost every other person. And then at this point, she dropped. So the Russians or any other person could have come. She stood up. She's of Chinese, Asian descent, and she picked up that gold in the all-round gymnastics. It was a big one for her.
Now, that's someone that if she said she had mental challenges, you would believe it because of what she went through.
You would give her excuses for her, yeah?
Yeah, but you know, at this point, I think we should. There's some things you should not excuse. There's something else that you shouldn't excuse. Not going with vex money. When you're going somewhere.
You're talking about
so for those that understand what
you wanted to bring that in.
That's when you keep maybe 2,000, 3,000 in your socks, just in case.
In this case, dollars.
Just keep it in your socks.
I read something
or in the back of your phone.
I read something just this morning, and it said that, look, for a guy, if you're hustling or you're still trying to push it through, or almost every other guy, if you get into a relationship and then you're taking care of all her needs, you're wasting your time. You're not investing. He just said it point blank.
Oh, are you referring to the video with the girl in the cab?
Yes, the girl in the cab.
Now I get you now.
The girl in the cab who couldn't pay for her fare.
I was very slow. My Pentium is still loading.
Yeah.
Pentium is so old. But honestly, when I saw that video...
Thank God you haven't finished yourself.
When I saw that video...
Vex money
I was embarrassed for both the lady and the cab driver. Now, there's something about customer care I don't think that he should have done.
Sure.
I think that guy should be penalized. He shouldn't have done that. That lady can sue because you're taking a video of me in such a moment that I do not wish to be out there.
Sure.
I think we should start to consider litigation a bit more in Nigeria instead of just vexing and fighting.
I don't know what the girl did ahead of them before the video started.
According to the guy, she did absolutely nothing.
She was waiting.
She was waiting for the
money. And then the guy goes, and he said it. She was waiting. And I also felt somehow, I felt like,
he shouldn't have done that.
No, he has implicated himself. She can sue, not even just him, but even the company. And I'm saying this, yes.
And the way those companies, the way it works, if he makes a report that she hasn't paid, he gets some kind of money, and then she would be banned or something. There are other ways to take care of that.
I've been in a situation where no transfers were going, and the gentleman said, "Okay, no problem. What's your phone number?
What's your phone number?
Just if it doesn't come, I'll call you later."
That's because you're a guy.
It's only 2,000 naira now. For goodness sake.
No, I think that was too much. Especially considering that she was calm.
Yeah,
and
this would have been avoided.
And then you're talking of vex money. Look, I've been in situations where it's not like you don't have money, but access to it can be a problem. You don't know exactly what happened there. And so I would not say at that point that she didn't have vex money.
Depending on what the situation was, I'm just saying, before you go anywhere, be prepared. I carry miniature bottles of everything because I like to be prepared. It's just something I like to do.
But there are times when no matter how prepared you are.
I don't want people to know I keep 2,000 naira in my phone here. Nobody should come and take it. I always keep it here just because you never know what could happen.
And then one day the phone and the whole bag gets missing.
At this point, we're going to wrap up on this segment, but there's still quite a lot more happening right here on Wake Up
Can I borrow your phone?
No.
Now, thank you for staying with us. It's a Monday morning, and of course, Monday is a time for motivation. It's going to be a wonderful time. Of course, we've had wonderful different segments on the show so far, but then let's get straight to it. This morning, we have Gloria Ajoge Adaba. Now, she is, of course, a development coach, engineer, and environmentalist, the founder of Thumbs Up Youth Leadership Development Initiative, a certified John Maxwell coach, a Toastmaster. I want to find out what that exactly means. I know you also want to find out. Speaker and leadership trainer. And today we're talking about knowing, accepting, and developing your individuality.
Yes.
That's it, yeah?
Yes.
Who's a Toastmaster?
Well, a Toastmaster basically is a leader who learns leadership via public speaking and also serving.
Okay, so it doesn't have to do with raising a glass to in a public occasion or something like that.
I really don't know why that just comes to mind.
It does, because, I mean, if you take the literal meaning and you say Toastmaster, okay.
It's actually an international organization.
It is, definitely.
Yes.
I know that. I know that. But for a lot of people out there who might not know, it's great to have you.
Thank
All right,
you very
so
much.
knowing, accepting, and developing your individuality. What makes an individual unique, and why should one need to know and accept his or her individuality?
Thank you for that question, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Knowing yourself, accepting yourself, and developing yourself is key in being a happy person. It's key in fulfilling your purpose. Because, you know, I see a lot of things that happen in society, and I would say that I was a product of that at some point, because people are born and they just find that, okay, there is this. I'm born, I go to school, I come out, and then I look for a job. And then you see a lot of people moving around aimlessly,
I get
not
a job,
knowing.
I get married, and then I train my kids,
And then you
I
find
die.
yourself, exactly, and then you find yourself in a place where you are not happy and fulfilled, and you keep asking yourself the question, why exactly am I here? So it's very important for us to know our individuality so that we'll be able to fulfill our purpose and we'll have direction in life and ultimately be in a happy place, because there is no one one size fits all when it comes to happiness.
I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, because, you know, that's what the problem where a number of people have had with, in quote, motivational speakers, because they tell you, don't know, they have this formula for everything. Do this and do this and do this, and it turns out to this. It's not always the case.
Yes, and that is why it's not sustainable, and that's the beauty of individuality, because it's bespoke. You need to find yourself. You need to find what makes you happy. You need to find what makes you tick, so that when you find that, you accept that, and then you grow that.
I like what you're saying.
Absolutely.
You need to find, how do you begin that process of finding out?
I was looking forward to that question. And it's a place that it's rarely visited. It's a place of solace, it's a place of introspection. You need to sit down, you need to ask yourself some basic questions. Who really am I? What makes me tick? What are my strengths? What am I passionate about? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself and write them down. In my NGO, we talk about, we have what we just concluded, the University of You. You need to know who you are. You've been to the University of Ibadan. You've been to the University of Lagos.
Lagos, yeah.
Have you really been to the University of You? Do you know who you are? And a lot of people that come out from schools or wherever we find ourselves in life, we just keep roaming around, and because I found myself there, that's why I said we.
Yeah.
I found myself there at some point.
A lot of us, myself inclusive, at different points in time.
Absolutely. And you see, I thank you for saying that, and that's why the word knowing, accepting, and growing, because it's a continuous process. It never ends.
It never
ends. It never ends. So there is no one size fits all, and just do this and you get it. If you don't know who you are, if you don't accept who you are, the place of acceptance is really huge. Now, in the process of knowing, after introspection, there are some things you might find out about your individuality. Your individuality is like your DNA. What your experiences have been growing up are different from mine. We grew up in different families, in probably different societies. I grew up north. And so my orientation is different. The way I filter things are different, the same with you. So I need to find that. I need to find my fingerprint. I need to know who I am. And then in doing that, I might find out some things about myself that I'll need to work on. Some people were traumatized when they were growing up. And it has led them in making some decisions and finding themselves in places where they keep asking, why am I here? Why am I behaving irrationally? And so they might need things like therapy. They might need coaching. They might need mentoring. So you need to find what it is about you, your specific DNA when it comes to your individuality, because your individuality are your characteristics and basically your personality.
Your personality.
What makes you unique and different from everyone else?
Now, a number of people might be asking,
Yes.
I cannot do this on my own. Where do I go from here? Like, okay, you told me to find you.
Okay.
I've sat down. I can sing in the shower. When I come out of the shower, it doesn't sound that nice. I think I can move my body. There's nothing really special about me. How do I go? Where next? Who do I talk to? Are there some kind of people I talk to? How do I find my steps? How, at times it's, but sometimes people can know what to do, but they don't know how to do what they need to do.
Absolutely. And you said something, there's nothing special about me. I would like to correct that. You need to start from that place. Start telling yourself,
start from there.
Start telling yourself there's something good about me. I have something to offer. I believe once we have that kind of orientation as individuals, we'll be able to grow yourself and you'll be able to impact people positively and you'll be able to see why you are here. So your question says, how do I do it? I said introspection. You start there, you write down things you know about yourself, and you probably need to reach out to a third party. A third party in terms of a professional coach.
A professional coach. Now let's get that clear, because somebody thinks that let me just talk to my friend and the person just has some info. Look, I know some things. A professional. A
professional, because the thing with talking to friends is that as much as you say, oh, this is my confidence, it's fine, I can talk to the person, but maybe tomorrow you have an issue with the person and then, the person uses what they know about you to
against
go,
you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you talk to a professional, the thing is that the person professionally is bound to confidentiality. So that would speak to you knowing that you are talking to someone who is going to keep your matters private. Also is going to have a different view. When you are in the picture, you are not really seeing it clearly, but someone else can look at you and really tell you, this is what I see about you, and then ask you questions that will lead you to finding you. Because no one knows you. And that is another thing people need to accept. I am not going to, as a coach, going to tell you that, Mr. Mike, this is what I think you should be doing. No, what I could do as a coach is ask you questions that you will begin to talk and begin to find out you're in a place where you are beginning to think and introspect again. Because it takes you into yourself. Let me give you an example of what happened to me as well when I got my coach. He kept saying to me, it's in you. And I was arguing. I'm like, no, I'm talking to you to help me do this. And you are telling me it's in me. No, help me. And he kept saying, he kept asking me questions, kept probing. And what he was doing is pushing me into myself to start thinking. And I brought out things about myself that I was like, wow, really and truly. Let me go back to my childhood, if I may. When I was growing up, then my dad would give me this blackboard, and I love telling this story. I'll put it in front of trees, and I keep talking to them. That was something I was always passionate about, talking to people.
Wow, talking to people.
Exactly. And so I navigated myself. So it took me quite a while. So that's why I'm passionate about young people, helping them to discover that pure form of giftedness in them. So that they can quickly find themselves.
I am very happy that at least we have a month with you. We will continue on this. If we had the time, we'll be talking for about an hour. You're a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
Extraordinary. Thank you so much. We've run out of time, but we will continue. We'll pick up from your story.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It's great having you.
Mr.
All right, let's head over to Titi. Titi, what were you doing growing up? Did you talk to people? Because I know you've always liked talking from when you were a kid.
Yeah, I think I'm in TV because I was always called a chatterbox. But hey, you never know. I'm getting paid now. We're in the kitchen. We're in the kitchen with Chef Isaac, and he's a favorite right here on Wake Up Nigeria because he always brings some extra flavor, pun intended.
Good morning to my eats.
Welcome.
New Mart.
I like your T-shirt, by the way.
Thank you very much.
This is like the classic Batman logo. That's the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, Batman. Are we flying to the rescue here with this meal? What are we making?
We're making yam in butter.
Yam in butter.
Yeah, it's a period of new yam. And then a lot of people thinking about how am I going to do this? Am I going to make a normal boiled yam or fried yam?
Okay.
But I think we need to give them something different. So to add to our usual menu.
Okay. That's the ingredients on your screen right now. Yam in batter served with pepper or tartar sauce, rather. Sauce, really? We have yam, of course, as a main ingredient. Salt, paprika, dry powdered pepper. That's black pepper, yes?
Yes.
And then recipe for the batter, we need eggs, salt, flour, black pepper, vegetable oil, and baking powder. Yeah, so that's it. Once again, the tartar sauce, you need onions, carrot, cucumber, mayonnaise. Ooh, sounds good, sounds good, sounds good. Yeah, I would love it if you could send in your efforts and your trials of this particular meal. Please try it at home with all these ingredients. We're going to start making the batter now.
Yes.
What goes into that batter once again? Flour, egg, right?
The
Flour?
batter?
Yes.
The flour?
Yes.
The egg?
Yep.
The baking powder?
Okay.
Yeah, and a little bit pinch of salt.
So let's start with that right now.
Great.
Is it all the flour?
Yeah,
Right in
maybe
there?
half of this.
Okay, half of that. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Right there. Then I guess.
So this is okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. It's measurement. Actually, it's very good for you to
Measure.
Yeah, measure it actually. So now this baking powder.
Okay.
No, the dry ingredients goes first.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can mix properly. Yes. Baking powder.
Yeah, that looks like a tablespoon of baking powder right there.
Yeah. Well, we need more of this.
Okay.
Of course, I have enough here.
A tablespoon or just a bit more than a tablespoon.
More than a tablespoon.
Of baking powder. What else goes in there quickly before we go to a
Yeah,
break?
a pinch of salt.
Okay.
Yes. It's okay.
And that's it.
Then we'll mix together.
We're going to be adding our eggs to that as well. For this amount of flour, I think it's just 2 eggs you need.
One will be in this one.
One egg.
One will be okay.
And while we're mixing this together, we have a few messages for you. Stay with us, people. Stay with us.
But Mazino, now you have extra use for your fingers. I
Yes,
mean,
he means electricity production, by the way, nothing else. That's what he means.
be careful where you're going to put that finger. I mean, for those of you who pick your nose or something, just be careful. And let's just leave it
Can we just go to the kitchen, please?
Yes, let's go to the kitchen. Titi, I saw you smiling while you saw that.
I just feel like we're becoming Android.
No,
Imagine
that's
now
not why you smile, Titi.
We're powering things now.
Let's just keep it.
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead with Chef Isaac here. We're making yam in batter. We've mixed the batter here with flour. We also use baking powder and a little bit of salt. Now we're slicing the yam into thin strips. And I say we, but he's the one doing all the work. You know?
Yeah.
And so we're almost there, right?
Yeah, really.
I can also see that you have water boiling. What's the water for?
Yeah, basically I'm going to parboil the yam.
Okay.
Yeah, so while parboiling, I'm going to season it with some salt.
Okay.
Yeah, so the reason for parboiling it is to make the yam get a little bit soft.
Okay.
So when you fry it with the butter on it, it's going to
Yeah.
be totally done.
So can we dip some of this yam into the batter to show how it's going to look when you're about to?
Okay.
Yeah, just
But I would love to do that after I might have
after, right?
seasoned it.
Oh, okay. All right then.
Oh, right.
Okay. All right. Sure. I get that.
Great.
Now the tartar sauce.
Okay.
You mentioned that it's going to have carrot, cucumber,
And onions
onion inside.
Yes.
With the mayonnaise.
with the mayonnaise.
All right.
Exactly.
It sounds and smells already so tasty. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for giving us this recipe today.
Actually, you can actually put more of your vegetables if you like the way you like it. Yeah, some like it very green, and then they add things like parsley,
Okay.
some celery,
Okay.
whatever you want to add to it.
All right.
Just the way you want it. It's always
Fantastic. Okay, so the ingredients are once again going to pop up on your screen in just a second. If you want to make your own yam in batter served with pepper or tartar sauce, you have yam, salt, paprika, dry pepper powder. Then the recipe for the batter, we used egg, salt, flour, black pepper, vegetable oil, and baking powder. Yeah, so these yam chips are better with some tartar sauce. Now the recipe for that is right there. Onions, carrots, we have cucumber, and of course mayonnaise. Woo, sounds tasty. Extremely tasty.
Yes. And again, you know, the tartar sauce. It's actually a very nice sauce for other things, not just for this yam.
Okay.
Yes, you can do some bread and prawns.
All right.
Yeah, and it's nice with it.
Ooh.
Give some chicken.
Some breaded prawns. So when you dip the prawns in batter and then into breadcrumbs and then fry it?
No, actually, directly the batter.
Okay.
A little bit of the flour.
Okay.
Powder one.
Yeah.
Put on it after you have seasoned it with some stuff. Then you get some breadcrumbs.
You're making me dance already. You're making me dance. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
But we trust you. We trust you, Chef Isaac. We know you got this a lot down. Please try it at home. But we will be back after this quick break. Stay with us.
Oh, yes. Well, hey, we hope that we were able to fill your cups to the first 1 hour of the show. And there's definitely more. So, hey, be expecting this one to spill even over.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome to the second lap of the show. It's the second day of August and therefore a second chance to take on the narrative for today.
Yes, indeed. It's always buzzing over here as we have made it our responsibility to light up your day with a splash of sunshine every single day, especially on a Monday.
So we're hopefully going to give you that 1,000-meter smile that's going to go a long way into making a difference in your world. Now, my smile is a lot brighter because August has begun. The month of Titi.
Ali Boro.
No. It's my month, people.
Did I get that right, however?
Almost, but they get it. Idea is needed. It's idea.
In any case, hey, we appreciate the fact that she's going to be glowing all through August. So, hey, let's just take that as a, there's always a silver lining.
Take it as it comes.
Always. It's a very difficult silver lining. But hey, it's all good. I don't know, Mike, how do you feel about this August thing we got going here for Titi? Because we're not going to hear what again.
We'll just be muting the mic at some point.
Wow. How dare you, Mike Messi?
So when she has done that, just
how dare you?
Are you done? But hey, come on, we're going now. Oh, what's this?
Chef
Batman.
Yeah, Chef
Whatever it is, when we are done, you will see it.
Wow, Mike, really? He's the one that's going to be there for us to taste it, I can imagine. But we would love you to grab a cup of whatever beverage it is you really like and just sit back and hold tight. My name is Titi Layo.
And of course, my name is Mazino. Remember that you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast show on Nigerian television.
Remember, you can always watch us live from absolutely anywhere across the world. Just use our mobile app. Download it from Google Play or iOS.
Yes, indeed. Now, we also implore you to follow us across social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and whatever is left out there. And, of course, hey, we will follow you back if we can and make sure that we read out your comments. Now, let's let them know what we have coming for the next 45 minutes of the show.
Now, building homes has always been a major issue across the world, with many people facing different obstacles on how to achieve their desires of owning a home. Joining us on SME, we're going to be talking about Throne Investment Homes. We have Kome Osalo. Kome Osalo is going to be joining us, and it's all about viral real estate business today. All right.
Welcome back. I didn't want to start this first hour with this, but over the weekend we lost another veteran of the Nigerian movie industry, Rachel Oniga. It was very sad to hear, especially noting that we are kind of like close to that community, having an actress with us here on set almost every single day. So, it was hard to take in, but I'm sure that, she will be very, very missed, but we've got so much to always remember her by.
Yeah, I remember the first movie I ever watched with her in it. That was Owo Blow. Now, Owo Blow had 3 parts, 3 amazing movies. And it was one of those movies that was exported to the UK. And it was the VHS of it. And she was just like the epitome of a mother, you know, in that. And then I just started using her as a template for other actresses. From Nigeria, which was really solid.
The veteran in the industry. I remember the last interview we had with her sometime, I think, was it early this year or so? Very, she was graceful. She everybody could take a picture with her. She was just all shades of professionalism, and of course, she was just something else, and we all miss her.
Yes,
I mean, she's been prominent from old Nollywood into new Nollywood.
Yes,
she has still been relevant. I mean, even up until the very latest movies, Chief Daddy and all of that, where she was
Royal Hibiscus Hotel.
Really nice. Even at last, she was at the premiere. I think the last public event which she posted when she was at the premiere of her movies, My Village People. She was supporting young acts so much.
Oh, we'll
She'll be
miss her.
sorely missed.
Dedicating this little segment here to the late Rachel Oniga. And you're welcome to the second hour here. As usual, we always begin with the news. So let's do the news now. My name is Mazino Appeal. We begin in Plateau State, where gunmen suspected to be herders and militiamen have attacked and killed 7 locals in Wachudu community. That's in Bassa local government area of the state. That's according to eyewitnesses, but police say 4 persons were killed. The Saturday night invasion also left over 50 houses belonging to the locals burned. In a statement released by the police command, there was a clash between herders and Irigwe youth in the community. Thereafter, a team of policemen were deployed and normalcy was restored to the area. Now, this attack comes a few weeks after a peace pact between the natives and herders in the state to sheathe their swords and give peace a chance. And Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has reacted to the new charges filed by the Kaduna State government against the leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, and his wife, Zinat. Mr. Falana says the charges were hurriedly filed to prevent the couple's release from custody. El-Zakzaky and his wife, Zinat, were arraigned on an 8-count charge bordering on culpable homicide, unlawful assembly, and disruption of public peace. Days after the court ordered the release of the couple, Kaduna Director of Public Prosecution Dari Bayero said the fresh counts filed by the state border on terrorism and treasonable felony against the state and their federal government. In the statement, Mr. Falana said, quote, "The new charge was maliciously filed when the Kaduna State government anticipated that the ruling fixed for July 28 in respect to no case submission would succeed." End of quote. The defendants had pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against them. They had been in custody since 2015 when members of the IMN, better known as Shiites, clashed with soldiers in Zaria, Kaduna State. And operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have recovered 35 wraps of cocaine from the underwear of a lady, Okafo Ebere Edith, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Ikeja, Lagos. This was during the outward clearance of passengers on Air Côte d'Ivoire to Liberia. According to a statement by the NDLEA, the suspect, who tucked the pallets of cocaine in her underwear to beat security checks at the airport, was picked up for search and questioning, during which the wraps of the illicit drug were found on her. Accordingly, another suspect, an intending male passenger going to Istanbul, was also arrested in the airport last Tuesday with 78 grams of cannabis mixed with dried bitter leaf. Also, NDLEA operatives raided a warehouse in Kontagora local government area of Niger State, where drug supplies totaling 125 bags of cannabis were recovered. And now, outside Nigeria, Iran's health minister has called for 2 weeks of lockdowns enforced by armed forces and law enforcement to curb the alarmingly fast rise of COVID-19 cases across the country. Saeed Namankimade, he requested in a letter to the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei on Sunday. Now, according to the minister, the 5th wave of coronavirus infections, this time dominated by the variant Delta, could become even more catastrophic and irreversible if nothing is done, because even if the country does not run out of hospital beds, it will run out of workers. He added that though vaccinated health workers are falling ill to long bouts of sleeplessness and stress, more than 3.9 million cases of COVID-19 have been registered in Iran since February 2020, and more than 91,000 people have lost their lives. Yesterday alone, 366 more Iranians have died from COVID-19 infections. And that's it for the news here, second hour.
We have to head over to the kitchen. Mazino has been so tempted to step in there.
I know, everybody's taking turns in the kitchen here today, but hey, I can't blame all of us because it seems very, very exciting. Once you have Chef Isaac in here, there's always milk involved or cream of some sort or something. You know, I always love it. So hey, it wasn't until too long till I got in here. So what are you doing to the potatoes?
Yam.
Yam, okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, great. So this earlier on I actually introduced this. This butter.
Okay.
And this yam. So what I did basically was I cut the yam and then I straight it into this julienne. Sorry. So and then I mix some batter.
That's flour, yeah.
That's flour
Okay,
and the baking powder, the egg,
All
and
right.
there's a little bit of salt
Okay.
on it.
Now we're frying it.
Now
yeah.
we're frying it. You mixed it very well.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. I see that there's some mayonnaise on the side here, so that's going to happen real soon. You're going to mix it up with all of that?
Exactly. We're going to be making some tartar sauce over there.
Oh, there's onions. So Olamide is not going to be having any of this, sorry. Olamide is our senior producer, by the way, but it's all good. Okay.
Yeah.
So it seems like a quick meal, a quick fix.
Very, very quick and very fast.
All right,
Yes.
so if you're at home, you could try this out. If you follow through the process, that means that you have just gained some knowledge. You'll see the finished product in about a bit, so don't you worry. Just hang in there. We'll be plating very soon and having our guests taste some of this, and I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it as well, vicariously, of course. So do stay tuned. It's still Wake Up Nigeria here. We've still got so much coming your way and a very interesting interview with our guests. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Now, welcome back. And building homes, well, it's always been a major issue across the world with many people facing different obstacles and how to achieve their desire of owning a home. Well, Kemi Osalo has joined us on SME to talk about Throne Investment Homes. Throne is a viral real estate business. And Kome, not Kemi rather, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for bringing in all that sunshine into our sets today.
Thank you.
All righty. So let's learn about Throne Investments and what you guys do.
Throne Investment Homes is a subsidiary of Throne Group. And Throne Groups can be divided into 3 segments. We have the automobile section, we have the logistics section, and we also have the property section, which is where home investment properties comes in. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting.
Thank
Now,
you.
you guys are based in Abuja. Let's
For
start
now.
with that for now.
No, for now we're in Abuja. We're not constrained to Abuja. We're actually expanding all over the nation. So for now we have just 4 locations in Abuja where we have lands available. We have a location in Lugbe, we have a location in Idu train station, we have a location in Apo resettlement, and we also have a location at Ako right now in Abuja.
So I'm going to come back to these locations, but first off, I want to know exactly what Throne Investment intends to achieve before we start getting into squeezing you guys out of all the juicy details on how to get into the real estate
Okay,
business.
so the goal is for everyone to be able to own a piece of land without having to break your bank.
Okay.
So with us, for as little as 50,000 naira, you can secure a slot to own a home. As long as you adhere to our payment plan, we have a payment plan which runs for 3 to 6 months, and we also have a payment plan that runs for 6 to 12 months. So as long as you stick to the rules and whatever payment plan you decide to
can
come
own a
on
home.
with just 50,000 naira, as minimum as 50,000 naira, you can secure land with us.
So let's talk about real estate now. Real estate is something that a lot of people are going into. People are actually selling property.
Yeah.
People are getting under different little investment schemes and companies, and also trying to sell to other people. It's a very interesting type of occupation. But how exactly can one start out being a real estate agent?
Being a real estate agent, okay, to start with, you need to educate yourself on whatever property you're trying to sell. Do you understand? Because you have different real estate agents. You could be renting, you could be for sale, but you just need to educate yourself on the property you want to sell. You need to make research and make sure that the people you're helping sell their property, they're credible.
Aha.
Do you understand? That is very key. As soon as you find out all this information, it's easy for you to meet whoever is interested to buy and just convince the buyer as much as you can.
And of course, that tells on your credibility, because if
Yes.
you're selling rubbish, then that means people will not have any faith in you
true.
the next time you come around.
Yeah, and you know.
And that's something that most people, personally, I've fallen victim to twice. I've had to have monies returned to me after
Yes.
discovering that this land that you're about to buy is under contention in the court of
You're
law.
even lucky
type of thing.
that they returned your money.
I know I'm lucky,
You're
but
even lucky.
of course they deducted some sums,
Yeah.
which is very unfortunate. But how can one, customers or sellers, look out for these kinds of nuances when it comes to property they're about to sell or buy?
For me, I think like the name and prestige of a company is important. Like before you decide to buy a property or own one, you should make research on the company you're dealing with and also find out their background, their history. Like everyone, we're in the area of social media. Everyone has an Instagram page. Everyone has their influencers or ambassadors they're using. Everyone has people that has already purchased for them and they're tagging them and saying, oh, this company is good. So I feel you should just make your background search properly. You should not just go and buy.
Very interesting that you should mention the use of social media. So apparently social media is a big tool when it comes to real estate
Yes.
now. because it is a form of it kind of like credits you for all the good work or bad work that you do. So how do you use social media, Throne Properties? How do you guys use social media?
For now, the vision behind this is Mr. Lekon Ilori. And Mr. Lekon Ilori has been able to contact some of his friends in the industry. So those people are like ambassadors to our brand right now. And he got people like Sahid Oshupa, Osasi Godaro, Sharon Oja.
Getting influence or influencers is also a big part as well.
It's a big part, and ever since they came on board, it's been great. Like a lot of people have been reaching out, people have been buying. So we encourage everyone to get on board as soon as possible.
So I hear what you're saying. You're saying, first of all, educate yourself on the kind of property that you want to sell. Secondly, you need a good network.
Yes, you do.
A good network of influencers or people who have influence to be able to push your product. And also, customer care must be very important because people will come back around to say this or that about your company. This is what they experience. So that has to be something that you have to look out for.
Yes, our customer care is in place. Like we make sure, like we keep to our word. Do you understand? We make sure that we are very credible. What you hear, what we tell you is what you get, and what you see is what you get. So you know, we're in an era of social media, and if you mess up, you get called out. You get called out. So far, so good. Everyone that's worked with us has had amazing things to say. So,
one question, however, when deciding where to cut out property for sale, how do you make that decision? For instance, in your case, why Abuja and those little spaces that you mentioned? Why was that why is that the commodity?
Okay, because in Abuja right now, we are looking for places that are affordable. Like I said earlier, with just 50,000 naira, you can use to you can secure a slot, get a slot to get a property with us, and we're looking for affordable places. Places that once the payment plan is set in place, you won't have to break a bank to do that. It's something that you can commit to and you can meet up. So for us, we actually looked for key locations, like places close to the business areas, close to the airports, places that are just really accessible.
So a big amount of research had to go into deciding exactly where you want to choose to sell to people.
Yes.
Okay, now, the big question now is for a normal person like myself, very humble, normal person, regular guy every Monday morning, how can I start this kind of a business? With what amount of capital? Who do I meet? What school do I go to if at all I need to go to a school? What do I do?
Okay, if you want to go into real estate personally. Okay, I think the internet and Google is everyone's friend.
No more school.
No more school. And you can go on YouTube and have some courses. There are influencers that actually have those real estate courses. You just need to pay like $10. Do you understand? And you get everything you need for real estate. Then you make your research on the lands that are available. Make sure it hasn't been sold to someone and the person is not aware and another fake agent is coming to sell it to you. Just make proper research and put it on the map, put it out there. Get as much people you know that have lots of followers, that have whatever to help you put it out there, and you'll sell out.
Would I need any government type certification?
Of course you will. You will. The moment, whenever you want to purchase the land, that comes in place now. So you have all the ADA papers, AFA papers, and all of that. So.
Okay, very interesting. Well, I'm sure that you're listening out there, and if you are just joining us, we're talking about the business of real estate here with Kome, who is from Throne Properties, Throne Investment rather, Properties. And we've been talking about how you can get started as a real estate agent who sells property, what to do, how to get started, the networking to make, and all of that. Have we missed out on anything at all?
No, for further information about us, please visit www.thronehomesLimited.com. So,
you guys put people through this process?
Yes,
in the beginning, you actually were telling me about the fact that you offer such a service as helping people to gain their foot in the real estate business.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, on that, like, you need to come buy from us first. Do you understand? We don't have training courses for now.
Just a bit.
No, we can't give out that information for free. You have to be willing to buy, and you have to evade your deposit first. Then we take it from there.
Okay, well, very interesting. Well, that is grand. That's good. We're very happy that you actually made it here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to seeing more and more of what Throne Properties would be doing in the near future. Well, I'm sure that you've also learned and you guys have all the information that you need to be able to perhaps maybe even start your journey in the world of real estate. Now, this is what we're going to do. We've got so much more coming your way today. The kitchen is still abuzz with much activity happening in there. I'd like to know if that's, hey, what's happening in there, Titi?
Mazino, the food is ready. The food is ready. It is ready. And it's about time for the guests to join us at this point.
Great. Let's go, come in.
Before I eat it all myself. Ooh.
You are lucky. We have a fantastic meal.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Please take a seat.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so let's move this a little further forward.
Oh.
Yeah, forward.
Yeah, there you
gotcha.
go.
Yeah, beautiful.
Hope I don't fall.
Oh,
Okay.
you're good, you're good.
Thank
Fantastic.
you.
Thanks for joining us. Now with us, we have Chef Isaac in the building.
Good morning. Good morning.
He's been hard at work making his special
Yam and butter.
yam in batter. And he's put together 2 different sauces there. There's a peppered sauce and a tartar sauce. And it looks and smells amazing. Nice one, Chef. Nice one. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys have seen it yet, but it looks very colorful and it looks extremely tasty. And I think the next thing is for our guests to get to taste it. Can you see the tartar sauce and the pepper sauce right there? Yeah. An amazing breakfast for you to try out. So let's see if we can find you some cutlery. All right. Please go ahead and have a taste.
Can I get a knife, please?
Oh.
Because I don't know.
Yeah, so it's actually a finger food.
It's a finger
It's a
food,
finger
so,
food.
okay, yeah.
So, yes, go ahead.
Ooh.
So what do you think? Oh, wow.
So nice. Can I have more, please?
Please, go ahead. It's all yours. It's all yours.
Did you already
And-
try the tartar sauce first?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The tartar sauce has onions, carrots,
Onions, carrots, and
cucumber.
cucumber.
Yeah? So what do you think? I think the look on your face is actually making everybody hungry right now.
sorry.
Because but really, thank you so much for joining us.
So nice. So
The
nice.
guys on the couch are staring at the screen, wondering when they're going to get a taste of just the food.
I'm not sure
Just
if it's
the
the
food.
food or if it's Kome, but yes, we are staring at the screen. This is fantastic. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, Titi, I wanted to mention that we're going to end the show with a little tribute to the late Rachel Oniga, whom we lost over the weekend, but she's still in our memories and we love her very much.